only 8. So that is the question. We do the Creole because one is
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this is English.
Okay. Briefly explain the justification for the protest earlier today.
Well, basically, today is not the first day we've protested. We've started before the 19th of April when they attempted to lay a statutory instrument at the Bintumani Conference Center. We continued after that, and we've never kept quiet because we believe that the process itself is not legitimate. The route they followed is illegal. They commenced the process without first coming to Parliament. It was when we raised the alarm bells, that was when they came to Parliament. And they also came not following legitimate procedures. They abrogated the standing orders of this House. The Constitution gives the President the power to call Parliament. But the standing orders, which we will refer to like our bylaws, gives effect on what is supposed to be done when the President calls for Parliament. That was not followed, and we challenged it at Bintumani well in Parliament because we were in Parliament. And after what happened that day, we had a press conference, and I'm sure you were there. Our position is still the same, and they refused to go and correct the anomalies to come back. But added to that also, they are saying that their instrument has matured and it is legitimate. We are saying no, because the foundation itself is flawed. But what is worrying, more shocking, is the fact that work that the Statistics Sierra Leone had done before they brought the statutory instrument to Parliament was also added to what they're doing now. They had commenced action and activities on the ground, and those activities were never cancelled. So they have just blended all of them together. They were illegal because they did all of those things before coming to Parliament. So after Parliament, they brought those on board and added to all what they've done after the 19th of April, or the 21 days after the 19th of April. So basically, we are standing on the law. And if the law is wrong, other things have been said. Cost of living. Those resources could have been diverted to something else. We need the resources. Our healthcare system. We have a free education system, which is still challenged. Those resources could be diverted to that, to add more strength to the free education, so that we'll make it quality. Counting people for what? 2023, 2022, as the whip said, we'll be having local council elections. And that's what the act says. And in 2023, general elections and presidential. So why the rush now? The last census was in 2015. Why can't we wait for 2025? And those who they believe should have been spending monies are now pulling out because they have seen they have seen the reality. We want to say kudos to them. We want to thank the World Bank for their afterthought. We want to thank the EU for being blunt. Because that is why we are partners. When we are partners, we should be helping ourselves. And that is exactly what they've done. They don't want to see us going towards a wrong direction as we're going now, and then be part of that wrong direction. I hope and pray that even as late as this night, government will advise themselves in ensuring that they call off this controversial midterm census. I filed 2 questions for the Minister of Development and Economic Planning to come to the House since October. The questions have never seen the light of day. The whip and many members of Parliament have continuously been talking on the illegality of this census. Why didn't they bring the minister? You should have asked him the questions. He should have answered. Why are they running away? Only today, Statistics Sierra Leone is attempting to engage with members of Parliament. But I'm sure they engaged with some members of Parliament because we as an opposition, we did not engage with them. And why now, at the eve? Parliament should have been part of this process. Political actors and parties should have been part of the process. That was what happened before the 2015 census. The chiefs, everybody should be involved. It is a national agenda. It should not be a party agenda. It is not a government agenda. It should be a national agenda.
The government is saying that they want to right wrong that was done in 2015. What says you?
We've not been told what the wrongs are. Do you know any of the wrongs? Have they told you? I'm asking you, have they told you what the wrongs are? No citizen has seen the wrongs. And tell me, How do you expect, what is the level of computer literate we have in Sierra Leone? They are going to apply tablets. Where are the computer literate people to count within 2 weeks 7 million people? How practical is that? How can you count 7 million people? As I said in one of my interviews before, Statistics Sierra Leone have the answer now. They're working from answer to solve. They have the answer. They have their figures. They have their plans. That is what we believe in. We've said it in many fora, and nobody has challenged them. Nobody has returned back to us to say what you're saying is not true. And if I say something and you don't come back to controvert, I will be left with the presumption of saying that what I'm saying is true, and we believe it is true.
Mr. Leader, even before the start of the census, we've seen people are being invited and detained at the CID for alleged incitement. What's your position on that?
Well, basically, we believe that as a country, freedom of speech should be as of right. People should be free to make statements. For them to be called to the police is tantamount to intimidation. For them to be called to the police is going against the freedom of expression we're talking about. During the last administration under the former president, Dr. Nkrumah, Part 5 of the Public Order Act was in the books. But people were not intimidated. Now Part 5 has been removed from the books, but people are feeling more intimidated.
So finally, is it true that 2 of your members are still in detention?
Yes, as I speak. I just spoke with the IG and he assured me that they will be released today. And but yes, but unfortunately, the irony is that they've not been arrested in connection to the census, based on what we've learned from the police. So if that is the case again, we're still waiting. But as I said, the IG has assured me that they will be released today.
How
Quick
far,
one,
how,
we
far-
will
how far are
speak
you ready
out.
to go with this,
With what?
with your position?
It's permanent. We will always support government to do things that are legal and legitimate. But we will not support things that are not legitimate. We've said we've supported them in many instances. You've been in this parliament. You know how many agreements we've ratified, how many presidential nominations we've approved against some odds. But when we're wasting money.
Quick one, Mr.
Yes,
Smith.
Mr. Excuse me.
Yes, quick one, sir.
Excuse me. Let me say something. The situation now we find ourselves is such that you are given the right to say what you want to say, but the consequences of what you say you cannot determine. Do you understand that?
Break it down.
Definitely.
What I'm trying to say here is we might want to express our freedom of speech, but they will tell you, in other words, that you can express your freedom of speech, but the consequence of freedom of speech is what we cannot guarantee you. That is the situation we find ourselves in.
Basically, the freedom of speech itself is not practical.
It's not practical in this government.
Sir, yeah, you are with the speaker, we are told. Was it casually you to comply with census? Yes.
No. It had nothing to do with the census.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.